Hari Om. We are today examining the 10th mantra of section 2 of chapter 1 of MUNDAKOPANISHAD. The mantra reads, Ishtapurtam manyamana varishtam na anyat shroyo vedayante pramudha na akasya prishte te sukṛte'nubhūtvemaṁ logam Hinadaram va vishanti. This is the mantra. Now let us see the mind of the Rishi behind this mantra. The Rishi is going hammer and tongs against the pseudo pandits who consider for themselves and loudly declare to their innocent followers that the yajnas and yagas, meaning sacrificial and charitable acts, are the most supreme, and there is nothing higher in this world to attain happiness. They know no plane of consciousness higher than that of heaven, and hence that limited finite geographical location is their desired land into which they want to migrate. That is their end all and be all of life. Now let us examine the mantra. Ishta purtam manyamana varishtam. Let us take the meaning of these words. Ishta purtam manyamana varishtam. I will take the last two meaning first and then come to the first two. Ishtapurtam we will discuss later. Manyamana varishtam. Varishtam is supreme. Manyamana. Manyamana. Manyamana means they consider. They consider Ishtapurtam. We'll understand what is Ishtapurtam. They Manyamana Ishtapurtam. They consider Ishtapurtam as Manyamana. I mean as Varishtam, as supreme. Now, what is Ishtapurtam? You see, every branch of knowledge in this world uses its own words peculiar in that context. Every branch of knowledge has their own words, and these words, technical words, is not the dictionary meaning. For example, you have in stock market business, when you say the bear and the bull in the stock market is not the Oxford dictionary meaning. Similarly, in the field of computers, the mouse, the window, these are never the dictionary meaning. It has its own assigned meaning. Therefore, Ishtapurtam, if you refer to the dictionary, you will get some meaning, but that's not the meaning in the Vedic culture. These technical words are employed in the knowledge of Vedas, the branch of Vedas, the knowledge, with certain specific meaning which has to be understood. Now let's examine what is Ishta and Purta. All actions that reward punya or merits are constituted into two categories by our rishis. Any action that is capable of giving you back or rewarding punya are divided into two categories. One, the acts of yaga and yajna prescribed in the Shruti, in the Vedas. The yagas and the yajnas are prescribed in the karma kanda of the Vedas. So these actions which are prescribed in the karma kanda of the Vedas, all of them put together is called Ishtam. Then what is Purtam? That which is prescribed in the Vedas are diluted down in Smriti to suit the time and space of the generations, from one Manvantara to the other Manvantara. So the Smritis, if you can compare common parlance, there are two things in our commercial world, or anywhere for that matter. You have an act which is passed by the parliament. you have the rules and regulations which are formed by the government. Now the acts are stable, but the rules and regulations can change depending upon the situation, circumstances, environments of the economy. Similarly, the Ishtam part of it, the yagas and yajnas and their procedure, all those things remain constant because they are all words of the Shrutis which cannot change, they are act. But the practical application of those yagas and yajnas, how to do it, and what will substitute those yagas and yajnas are prescribed in Smriti. So instead of yagas and yajnas which used to be performed in the earlier days, in the Satya Yuga and all that, or even Treta Yuga, when you come down to Dwapara Yuga, when you come down to Kali Yuga, yagas and yajnas cannot be performed. And yagas and yajnas have the capacity to reward you with punya. So now, people of the same mental frame, what will they do? They can't do yaga, they can't do yajna. So what is it that they can do? Smriti said, those who undertake work of common nature, which helps the common man, let's say like digging of a well, a pond, building a road, a chowltree, poor feeding, looking after the sick and the needy, etc., etc. All charitable acts. All these things which are permitted by this Smriti, for what purpose? For the purpose of attaining heaven. Just because you can't perform the yagas and yajnas, it is not that your heaven is closed. Heaven is still open, but even if you don't perform the yagas and yajnas as enunciated by the Vedas, if you can do, fine. But if you can't do, then you are permitted to do these charitable works, which together constitute Purta. So therefore, these people consider the performance of Ishta Purtam as supreme and superior to none. Now the Ishta Purta means either yagas or yajnas with a desire to go to heaven, or equivalent of yagas and yajnas as prescribed by the Smriti, like undertaking charitable actions with a desire in mind to go to heaven. It is not without ego and egocentric action that you are doing this work. You are doing with ego and egocentric desires. You have a desire. Such actions are therefore called Purtam. Yagas and yajnas per se, if you perform, they are called Ishta. So, Ishta and Purta together constitute both type of actions performed with a terrible desire in your mind to rush to heaven and enjoy the pleasures. So, Ishta Purtam, that Manyamano Varishtam, they think that is the highest. Then the next line, Na Anyat Shreyo Vedayanto Pramudha. These people, Nyanyat Shreyo Vedayante Pramudha. These Pramudhas meaning Mudha is fool. Pramudha is Pragarshanena fool. Doctorate in stupidity. So, these people, Na Anyat Shreyo. Shreya means welfare. They do not consider anything else, Na Anyat Shreyo. They don't consider anything else as Shreyas. Then what are they going for? They are actually going for Prayas. Prayas is happiness. Shreyas is peace. So therefore, these people, Nanyat Shreyo, Vedayante Pramudha, these Pramudhas, doctorates of stupidity, do not know anything other than this Ishta and Purta to go to Shreyas as opposed to praise. Okay. On winding up this mortal coil, having performed all these desire-laden actions, and having spent the whole life in this Ishtapurtam, the Rishi explains what happens. The third line of the mantra says, Na akasya prishtete sukṛte'nubhūtvemaṁ Na akasya prishtete. Prishte means thereafter. Thereafter what? Na akasya prishtete. Now look at the choice of the words of the rishis. Heaven is described as aka, naka. Ka in Sanskrit means happiness. Ka in Sanskrit means happiness. Naka means naka. No ka. No happiness means pain. So naka means pain. Kam means bliss. Naka means without peace. It's not really pain, without peace. So that's why the Surgam or heaven is described as Nakam. It is not a positive place that offers you bliss. It is a temporary place where you don't feel the pain of the world. So Naakam, Naakasya. Kam means bliss. Akam means pain. Naakasya means a state of painlessness. So in heaven you enjoy a state of painlessness. And therefore by choosing this particular word, Shruti clearly indicates that in heaven there will be no pain as we experience in this world, and therefore the happiness there is only relative and not absolute. Please go through the meaning of the word Nagasya again. Please contemplate in your mind. So in heaven it is only a relative happiness, a happiness which is not absolute. It is not Sandranandam as roared by our Bhattadiripal. Unbroken happiness is peace or bliss. That unbroken happiness you will never get in Nagam, in Swargam. Okay. Now what happens in your heaven? Prishtayate. After that, in that Nagam, Prishtayate. After what? After sukṛte'nubhūtvemaṁ. After you enjoy. Anubhutva means enjoy. Sukṛte means the punyas, the merits. So in Nagam, Nagasya, in heaven, Prishtayate, after sukṛte'nubhūtvemaṁ, enjoyed, experienced the sukrta, the happiness, then what happens? Imam logam hinadaram va vishanti. Imam logam, into this world, va vishanti, you will fall into this world, or hinadaram, which is worse than this world. They again enter into this world or any other inferior world of flora and fauna, or animal kingdom, or mineral kingdom, to the rest of, or rather, or anything inferior to human life. For what? To restart your kindergarten classes all over again. What a fall! What a fall! Should we not avoid such falls? Therefore, the Shruti is advising that even if you go to heaven, the stay there is temporary. Secondly, even during your stay, you are not going to enjoy absolute Sandranandam, absolute bliss. It is only absence of sorrow or absence of pain, which is only a relative factor. And even after enjoying that relative bliss or, relative happiness, are you going to stay there permanently ever? No. The moment your balance in the credit card or debit card is over, Prishtayate, Sukṛte, Anubhūtva, having experienced, having exhausted all the Sukrta that you have, Imam Logam or Hinadaram Va Vishanti. They come into this world or inferior worlds. There is no guarantee that will come to this world. You may be born as a worm in the waste paper basket, as a crawling creature, as an ant, as a mosquito. Anything is possible, depending upon the past vasanas that you have gathered. By virtue of your coming to taking human life, you have acquired certain wealth, which you have already exhausted in heaven, instead of undertaking desireless actions and then destroying all your earlier vasanas or past karmas, getting them burnt out in the true knowledge, and then straight face to face with Brahma into the Brahmaloka for you to enjoy not a relative bliss but a fine, infinite, absolute bliss and revel as Brahman in Brahma. This is the message of this mantra by the rishis. Hari Om.